Добрый вечер. Рад вас всех видеть в этот замечательный вторник. А у нас ничего нового. Мы радуем наших зрителей стабильностью. Что так громко, Алин? Я слишком хорошо себя слышу. Что у нас по побочечкам? Есть что, нет? Вроде все прошел. Ну там, наверное, охоты какие-нибудь. Хотя вроде охоты я почти все прошел. Да, у меня одна охота оставалась. О, вот подтверждение, мне там рады видеть.
How may I help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. Come again. I may have more for you.
1,5 куска очков, это хорошо. Ну да, охота одна осталась. Ну, пущай пока полежит, она мне не к спеху. Отправимся, значит, выполнять сюжетные квесты. Начнем с Марты. Ну да, это охота. Я уже на одну охоту сходил, мне не очень понравилось. Я не знаю, насколько просто это полезная награда. А заниматься охотами только потому, что это единственная побочная активность, ну, что-то сегодня не охота. Ну, последняя охота, да, была вообще тормознутая. Меня расстраивало.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it
Да не,
out
я
here.
понимаю, что это
That
для
was
крафта.
more than
Просто,
enough.
ну...
The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered. What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Опять драка какая-то. В этом мире же спокойствия, наверное, не бывает.
More.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Them not. Not a chance.
Хреново что-то в мире. Честное слово. Когда уже позитив-то? Хотя, по-моему, я, кажется, каждый стрим спрашиваю этот. Задаю этот вопрос во вселенную в надежде получить ответ.
We deal with the Akashic first.
Избавимся от какашек. Ну вот, практически избавились от какашек. Там новые. А откуда они идут, извините? С боков. Еще мы их сейчас фениксом. Две ульты, враги лежат. Красота. Хоть так. Да.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
На кого они похожи? Вот эти ребята из Розарии.
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell, the Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashics snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Мы же вечно тут не сможем держать оборону. Нам как бы надо дальше двигаться. Другие проблемы решать. Чем торгуешь интересным?
What are you after?
А, у тебя платиновый меч. Да-да.
Take care out there, eh?
Безумно полезная, нужная ковырялка.
Mad
Да
dog.
полезнее с лопатой бегать.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Ну и где они? А, во. Что это за
We need to get the injured to safety.
перевернутые кегли у нее на спине?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Нет, он просто так в позицию встал. Какие все пафосные, боже мой. Куда деваться? Краб-какашка. Харе, давай. Ребят, нам надо просто зарубить крабов сначала. Потом разберемся с черепахами. Ау, прям в меня, прям в меня. Так. Подамонтаус, пожалуйста, не мешай мне сражаться с твоими товарищами. Очень тебя прошу. Вот тебе вращалка. Так, сейчас мы ее складем ей. Так, сложили. Крылышками взмахнули. Кулачком накиднули. Ультанули. Так, превратились в горящего чувака и начинаем наваливать. А почему враги на подходе? Он даже своих бьет. Ну ладно. Так, давай тогда воспользуемся пламенем. Как его уже, господи, Феникс, его Феникс. Так, братишек не стало. Не-а. Не-а. Харе плеваться. Нате с кулачка. Чё ты? А, и умер. Ну и отлично. Ну, странно, я тебе просто в репу прописал разочек, а ты что-то упал. О, у меня что-то все упало. Острый клык и магический пепел.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Second
We'll
whore.
make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Мы даже не превращаясь в свою ультаформу, разносим всех и вся. Неужели мы реально настолько сильны даже просто физически?
Mad dogs. The law.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Just patch me up as quick as you can and get me back out there.
О! Знакомые гоблинцы. Если просто гоблинцы, мы их знаем. И... Это хороший ульта, мне нравится. Не знаю, что там дает Богомут, но Титан меня радует. Чё мне... О, господи. Коба в соплях. Зачем мне это все вообще? Ну, давай. Птицу надо бить птицей. Ну или не знаю, как бы чокоба хороши в жареном виде. Я не сомневаюсь, что они в жареном виде хороши. Она пинаться умеет? С каких-то пор птицы пинаются. Ты что-то умер, да? Все, победили. Победили. Кто? Господи, глаз летающий.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, Sir Wade. Shall we?
О, двух убил. Одним ударом. Так, немножко. Так, немножко вот так. Потом вот так. Черт вонючий. Харе, я тебя кулаком ударить хочу. Ну, сам. Говорится, сам так сам. Хорошо. Что дальше? В Истпул пойдем?
Do you see any more?
Костры проверять.
No. I think that was the last of them.
Горят что-то там ведь.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
Блин, а ведь у меня еще целых 2 точки тоже вот по зачистке. Ну, там помогать чем-то надо. Мы тут с первой-то до сих пор расправиться никак не можем. А, нет, помогли.
There.
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
Да
How many of your men were
помощнички.
injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not
Ну
a
да.
matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
Что снимаю сцены такие. Миссия выполнена. Идеально.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
Кого это ты там решил?
Oscar, over here.
Оскар.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I'm
Кто ты?
Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch. I wasn't
Ah.
aware the Lord Commander had children.
Понятно.
He didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew.
4 ульты снарядила. Могёшь.
Yes, Sir Wade.
Накачала себе там ульты. Сидит теперь ими трясет. Мол, смотри, какие большие ульты.
If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar. But I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And
Это
spending
крутая,
time in the
да.
company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that, they're...
It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
Я уже не помню, как он выглядит.
Squire.
Да соглашайся уже, господи.
You were a squire.
Ведешь себя как капризная
Sir
бабенка.
Rodney would approve.
Ну да.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
Так что давай, раздевайся. Я сейчас буду показывать, как я не делаю поблажки. Твой ведь дядя тоже не делал тебе поблажек. Ладно, в Дальмекию, или как эта хренень там называется, короче, этот, где руководит все мужчина с женским именем, я туда попозже приду. В самый последний момент. Потому что этот скользкий типчик мне не очень радует.
I can't do it.
Если ты не можешь биться, надо биться. Так, это не мадам.
Milady.
We received the dame's message.
Что там с
There have
мадам?
been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
Это по всему миру.
Yes. Like a Akashic.
Голубыми глазами.
They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Акашики, но не акашики. Рабы ультимы.
Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
Ну, акасики. Бульбули акасики. Ну, говорю, какашки. Акашки, какашки.
The two soldiers were carrying another. He didn't have any legs.
Величайший юмор. Ты чё, это самый лучший.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! Oh, would you have...
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for
Господи,
protection.
просто. Игра! Актер!
My charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look,
Блин, как он выдает.
let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Актерство для меня не просто лицедейство. Живу я лишь героем, герой во мне. Пускай играю я в говне. Вот. Великий актер, блин. Мне кажется, он один всех тут просто по качеству победил, блин.
Didn't expect help to arrive so quickly, and sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs.
Вообще-то тут, ну, с нами дама.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors.
Че, в детективов теперь играть будем? Собственно, да вон они на заднем плане, я их вижу. Вон там какие-то твари синие. Ходят вон крылами машут или чем они там. Это эти вон сопливые петухи. Кто же на нас напал? Кто же на нас напал? Здравствуйте, мадам. Что такое?
Did you see the creatures that attacked
Ты
you?
что потянула?
Creatures? Yeah, They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now.
Если, конечно, на успокоение, ну ладно.
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
Он сказал,
Have an idea of where the thralls
leave
are
that
now?
to us.
We should head for more.
Типа, оставь это нам.
I truly am.
Мы разберемся. Это по смыслу маленько не подходит, просто фраза. Мы разберемся. Есть у меня отличный план, надо просто взять и телами своими забросать врагов. Они когда-то, ну, перестанут нападать, потому что слишком много тел. О. Некая фортепианная мелодия такое. Прикольная. Мне почему-то сразу такие ассоциации с Джереми Соулом. Хотя и не совсем. Так, ну чё? Где-то здесь сейчас на нас должны напасть. И мы должны порвать им пасть. Убейте врагов. А где они? А вот они. Господи, это просто зомбухи какие-то. А, Рабдух. Ну, кто? Рабдух. Это что-то из индуизма, да, Рабдух? Так, новые враги на подходе. А, вот эти письки, они, по-моему, что-то там нехорошее делают. Они, по-моему, там благословляют, что ли? А, не, они щит... Что произошло? А, он, умирая, положил на себя щит. Или, подожди, они все в щитах. Ой, ой, не то. Ну ладно, пойдем. Он потерял щит, и его унесло. Ну ладно. А, вот он, щитоложец поганый. Раб-призрак выйдет погулять. Скинь попить. О, вышел погулять. Где еще кто? А, ну конечно. Куда ж нам без врагов-то? Ау, за трещину дал. А я не дал. А! Так, давай с этой вот шоблой, с рабдухами разберемся. Ну ничего, все равно. Какой найс-трай, говно, а не найс-трай. Творит всякую дичь, а ты его хвалишь еще. Ну-ка, положи его на лопаточку. И сверху, и сверху, и сверху ему на, огоньку, огоньку. А потом еще вот этой фигней. А, я вернулся же. Ну как так? Не должно быть такого. Несправедливость, сплошная несправедливость. Ладно, вру, на самом деле все в порядке. Потом поднимаем. Давай землю, землю, землю. Я землю подыму ногами. Феникс, 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 Феникс. Надавал, надавал. Молодец. Это Раблич. Это Раблич. Понял. А сколько я урона нанес? Я даже не посмотрел что-то. Наверное, много. Я не вижу тебя, ты в ветре стоишь, дебил. Он сказал мяу. Это значило. Он в агрессивную кошечку превратился внезапно, убив врага. Конечно, Мор, ты чё? Джилл-то шарит. Она все знает, все понимает. Давай вернемся к Изабелл. Изабел, меня так и не пустили в публичный дом. Я грущу, я расстраиваюсь. Как так? В Ведьмака уйду, вот честное слово. Даже в Готике, которая выходила в 2001-2002 году, даже там можно было в публичном доме веселиться. Ну, я про вторую часть, по крайней мере, знаю точно.
Yes, my lady. The garrison will be ready.
Какой он услужливый-то, а?
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt.
Она не устанет быть признательной каждому солдату.
Whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love.
Ух ты, какой.
People I love include the one standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Я не мешаю.
I have sentries to post.
Да, иди там, проставляй часовых пока. Сам видишь, мадам занята, поэтому придется как-то самому справляться с расстановкой часовых. Да, понятное дело, что нет, но тут, может, ради такого дела. Слушай, но я как бы в средневековых борделях не бывал. Это раз. Во-вторых, симуляторы средневекового борделя тоже, кстати, еще не выпустили. По крайней мере, я не знаю. Вот, кстати, хорошая идея. Почему никто до сих пор выпускает симуляторы средневековых таверн, даже фэнтези-таверн, и ни одной фэнтези-бордельки? Блин, ну вообще, мне кажется, идеальный жанр для игры. Только так, я еще, добротных ребят, разработчиков, рисовальщиков, кого угодно. Будем делать, игру мечты. Будем делать симулятор фэнтези-борделя. Мне кажется, мы прям порвем просто рынок игровых развлечений. Там все просто охренеют от того, какие классные игрища мы предлагаем. Так, а это что? А, это Гаруда! Ну, вот этот братан мне, конечно, прям дико радует. А, это улучшенный. Да, да. Это изученный, это улучшенный. Соответственно, если я сейчас еще раз улучшу, он станет мастеровым, и я смогу брать всякое на всякое. Но мне нравится и то, и это, поэтому я даже, не знаю, чё. Я не могу выбрать что-то одно. Я хочу владеть всем. Почему? Как так? Так, ну пойдем в Багдад, в местный. Кузнецу помогать. Не очень я горю желанием ему, конечно, помогать. Угу. Вот тут Burning Man, что ли, прошел? Почему все стены в вине? И почему все тормозит?
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine.
Да не так уж и много, на самом деле, есть мест. Здесь пустыни маленькие.
As if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
Ты ятаган свой достань, потряси им маленько.
You won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Блин, я реально загорелся идеей. Симулятор фэнтези-борделя. Ёлки-палки. Вот это вот, да, вот это пропадает. Вот это пропадает. Чё дерутся-то?
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself.
Виктор.
Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Может, часть денег потратить на наемников, чтобы они обороняли город, а другую часть денег потратить на еду. Как вам такое предложение? Я тоже не знаю. Я даже не знаю, кто это.
And Lady Jill.
А он нас знает.
What brings you here?
Витек, а ты откуда?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The
Торговец какой-то.
in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
А, нет, еще рано. Поторопился. Да пойдемте поговорим просто с этими двумя-тремя сколькими-то там. Сколько их вообще там, я не понял.
So, you see my predicament?
А, видел. Двумя, да, двумя. Да, их там. С одной стороны кучка, с другой стороны кучка.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
Давайте бандитов. Так, и все.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Красавица, решение.
Recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients.
Да.
While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Что буду делать я?
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Окей.
Picture it, Conrad.
Будем подыгрывать. Кому бы то ни было.
Here she is. The lady
А,
of
типа
the
они...
spear herself.
То есть под это...
May I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad.
И Конрад такой, boys. We're looking for boys.
Blooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
И убежал.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Уж она и в следующий раз тоже разрулит сама все. А я как бы и не нужен.
Let us band together and show
Куда он убежал?
Dalimil is not to be trifled with.
А, или он пошел это, народ подымать. Давай, удачи, удачи. Обрисуем там situation. Сам понимаешь.
If I had my pickaxe, I would. I mean, it may still be possible to buy some.
Бани.
Ah, here he is now.
Торговец.
Allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Underhill, блин.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true,
Перегнул маленечко, да? Чуть-чуть перегнул, бывает.
Meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
Замечательно, сейчас одним ударом всех перебьем. Офигенно же, ну, ребят.
I have a favor to ask.
Ну, давай.
I'm told the bandits march in two groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
Куда мне идти? А, во. Так, махач, махач, махач. Убираем сразу.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
They mean to overwhelm us.
Он там летит. Он там все еще летит, бедолага. Забавно. Еще враги. А, вот еще враг. И новые враги на подходе. What's up, Troggle? А, эти, блин. Убиватель ядом. Ой, как я его не люблю. Когда охотился на одного из них, что-то прям вообще больно было. Ну, ты один остался, вот тебе ветра. $34 000 маловато урона. Ну ты! Давай уже что-нибудь сделай, заколебал. Не пойми, где обитает. А во, теперь я все понял. Ой, 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 ой. Уронил, уронил, уронил сначала. Во. Так, потом. Да он что ли заржал? Блин, у Титана просто безумный урон. Благодаря Титану сейчас сражаться с противниками, вообще с кучками, сплошное удовольствие. Да, безусловно, он, конечно, не самый кайфовый в плане точечного урона, но все равно классно. Тут, наверное, этот... Как его... Электромужик, наверное, лучше всего подходит. Ну, я не знаю просто мне, что заменить электромужиком. Тут же всего, получается, сколько? 6 разъемов. И все мне нужны. Ну и чё опять началось? Драться будете?
Natalie,
Ah.
I owe you an apology.
Мировая.
Well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Alamil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Согласен, лучше не давайте мне вот эти вот роли непонятных там торговцев. Ну, я вообще не похож на торговца. Если Джилл еще на наемника хоть как-то смахивает, то я на торговца. О, и как раз можно сразу метнуться к Ото. Замечательно. На самом деле, вот это вот очень прикольная система, что, выполнив квест, тебе дает возможность телепортнуться сразу.
Hellos from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the color of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Taya says your brother's away.
О, точно, мы же брата там. С братом встретились. Я уже забыл. Что это мы братом встретились, и вообще там у нас этот... Мы уволокли Богомута. А, вон он лежит, отдыхает. Блин, он отсюда немножко похож на шамана.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, it was not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs.
Deep, dark fantasies.
Even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
Потому что ты мифос. Морозно свежий.
Many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind.
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Давай поругайся, это поможет. Сейчас он ультиму вынет из себя.
Clive, it's Gav.
О, ёпта мать.
There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Не дают даже с братом пообщаться. Это ужас. Опять там армия какашек.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right.
Просто дала ему баночку Red Bull, и он окрылился.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
You are welcome.
I'll look after him.
Brother. То есть что мне теперь? О, побочник. О, как много. О, охоты. О, фу. Охоты, фу. Давайте показывайте, что там. Стая С. Да, чё, а почему С? Яйцом на лице. Ну, в смысле, у меня же вон уже А, Б. Просто стая. Ладно. Иду побочки выполнять. Так, это у этого. У этого, того.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Здравствуйте, мадам.
You can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid's scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Well,
perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Блин, у нас там мир в труху рушится, а ты просишь руководителя поселения, последнего свободного и главного революционера, помочь в воспитании детей. Ну, даже не знаю.
Are
you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Шантаж за шантажом, а?
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never failed to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers? How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver.
Охота.
But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Так, и последний квест надо взять.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
What am I gonna do? Is everything all right, Goose? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallimil Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Ну, рассказывай, что там у тебя.
How's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade, then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait. What exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dallimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Как и ожидалось, ничего мы не узнали от нее. Туда-сюда бегаем, как дурачки.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
Ой, господи. Очень интересно все происходит. Фу, аж раздевался. О, еще квест побочный. Господин Клайв, прошу простить меня за это внезапное и неуместное обращение. Обстоятельства вынуждают просить вас о помощи, ведь больше обратиться не к кому. Ваш достопочтенный дядя поручил мне одно дело, но к моей досаде справиться с ним, согласно его ожиданиям, не представляется возможным, ввиду отсутствия должных навыков. Я всего лишь слуга, а не наемник. Не могу наладить быт в доме, но... могу наладить быт в доме, но не могу разогнать разбойников на улице. Умоляю, милорд, приходите в привал Марты, там вы получите от меня все разъяснения. Себастьян Резерфорд, Дворецкий.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
Что такое? Так, где этот долбанный атриум-то? У меня кончились слоты под активные квесты. Ну ладно, вернемся потом. Нет, почему? Можно исходить тогда. Ладно, пойду. Надо все сначала здесь закончить, чтобы потом уже возвращаться и тут квесты задавать. You're all gonna die. Oh.
What do you reckon we should do?
Ну чё, детишки? Это весы, собственно говоря. Даже искать не пришлось.
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not.
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right.
Well,
It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Minadol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts.
Не хочу, конечно, ну, совсем сомневаться в умственном развитии этих детей, но весы
Here's what we'll do.
состоят из 4, сука, частей. Это тебе не часы собирать.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. Ah, all finished.
Yes!
Магия.
We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you 3 engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're
Ты
Miss
слишком
Minadol's
снисходителен.
Her hairs.
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Midadol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
Медодол звучит как название какого-то медикамента, мощного успокоительного.
Do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
А весы-то в Икее покупали. Уверен, главное вовремя съебать. До того, как все поймут, что ты, короче, где-то это делал неправильно. 2 правила. Будь уверен и вовремя съеби. Все. Успех в любом вообще месте.
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the 3 of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, Do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Целый квест. Угу. А, ну, тут больше на территории нету квеста. Хорошо. Чё? Я должен обязательно вот в отголоски Кролджета отправить. Ну, окей. Как скажете. Я думал, побочки хоть повыполняю. Ну, сейчас, скорее всего, фильм пройдет, и можно будет телепортаться куда попало. Ключ в скрытности.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Клайв, ну что ты такой?
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Нет, я хочу выполнять побочные квесты. Ну, кстати, тут какая-то побочка есть. Гэв подождет. Нет ничего важнее, чем помочь детям собрать весы. Или нарыть какой-нибудь жаранины. С кем я должен тут поговорить? Да, и пусть весь мир подожгет.
My lord Marquis, is that
My lord.
It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
А, да, видел.
We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to
Знаешь, интересно узнать, как.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
Нет, пожалуй, наверное, я закончу на сегодня. Что-то я подустал. Не вывожу слегка. Ну, ничего, бывает. Всем, ребят, спасибо. Продолжим мы завтра, видимо. Всех люблю.